God bless you, dear students. So today we are going to discuss about the fourth chapter, ARATI SAHA, which is a non-fiction piece on the life and achievement of an Indian long-distance swimmer, ARATI SAHA, who was born in Bengal and won 22 state-level competitions between 1945 and 1951. So, ARATI SAHA was an Indian long-distance swimmer and best known for becoming the first Asian woman to swim across the English Channel in 29 September 1959, and in 1960 she became the first Indian sportsman to be awarded Padma Shri, the fourth highest civilian honor in India. So here I am going to read the paragraphs. In 1999, the Department of Posts of India issued a new postage stamp. Against the cerulean backdrop of this stamp was the goggle face of a female swimmer. Cerulean means deep sky blue color. Unknown to most, this swimmer ARATI SAHA had scripted a record by being the first Indian woman to swim across the English Channel. Scripted means set. So, in 1999, the Department of Post celebrated her conquest by bringing out a postage stamp, and against the deep sky blue color, which was the backdrop of the stamp, was the goggle face of a female swimmer who was unknown to most, named ARATI SAHA, had set a record by being the first Indian woman to cross the English Channel. Now the next paragraphs. The English Channel, lying between southern England and northern France, extends over an area of 560 kilometers, characterized by strong tides and which change direction every 6 hours, and unpredictable wind directions. The waters are choppy at the best of times. At the worst, they are barely navigable. So, unpredictable means depended on, and choppy means rough and full of waves. And the line here, at the worst, they are barely navigable, means at the disadvantages, they are just nearly reachable. Now, the next paragraph. By 1927, the English Channel had acquired notoriety as virtually impossible by swimming. Notoriety means bad reputation, and virtually impossible means almost impossible to cross. Less than 10 swimmers had been able to cross the channel successfully until the Channel Swimming Association issued notices promising to acknowledge the achievement of swimmers who managed to cross the channel. Very few ventured to cross the dangerous waters. Acknowledged means here recognized, and ventured means undertook the risk. Now, it was in 1958 that the first breakthrough in the race came about 4 swimmers from the Indian subcontinent. Breakthrough means an important discovery. Brojan Das, a Bangladeshi swimmer trained in Kolkata, became the first Asian to swim across the channel. He had swum across the 42-mile stretch from Cape Gris in France to Sandgate in England. So here in 1958, the first important discovery in the race came about for swimmers from the Indian subcontinent, and Brojan Das, Bangladeshi swimmer. So he had swum across the 42-mile stretch from Cape Gris in France to Sandgate in England. Along with the numerous accolades for his performance, Das also received a heartfelt letter of congratulations from fellow swimmer ARATI SAHA. Accolades means awards and privileges. ARATI, with her spectacular record of winning 22 state level competitions between 1946 and 1951, was fairly well known among swimmers in the subcontinent. Spectacular means very impressive to see. By the time Das achieved his feat, however, ARATI had all but withdrawn herself from international events over tremendous disappointment following her unexpected failure at the 1952 Helsinki Olympics. So here all but withdrawn means almost pulled out, and tremendous means very large or great. So Das, however, recognized ARATI's extraordinary talent and began to urge her to replicate his achievement. To replicate means to repeat. In addition, he proposed her name to the organizers for the next year's event. So, Brojan Das, along with so many awards and privileges for his performance, he also received a congratulatory message from the fellow swimmer ARATI on his achievement. And Das also encouraged her and proposed her name for the next year's event, as he recognized ARATI's extraordinary talent and advised her to repeat his achievements. Now the next paragraph. ARATI took up the challenge and started training rigorously for the event. Rigorously means extremely thoroughly. Meanwhile, preparations began to support ARATI in her endeavor. Endeavor is attempt. It was no easy matter to arrange for the funds required for the participation in an overseas event. Mihir Sen, the first Indian to swim across the English Channel, started organizing fundraisers for ARATI when the funds still fell short. He, along with the secretary of the Hatkola Swimming Association, where ARATI trained, appealed to the then Chief Minister of Bengal, Dr. Bidhan Chandra Roy, and the Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru for help. Luckily, both of them were keenly interested in ARATI's efforts and assured help to arrange her trip. So here, assured means promise to do something. Okay, so let's see about this paragraph. Then ARATI took up the challenge and started training thoroughly for the event. And other than Brojan Das, it was Mihir Sen also who encouraged ARATI to seriously think about the participation. And Mihir Sen, along with the secretary of Hatkola Swimming Club, organized fundraising events and other initiatives to make ARATI's participation in the event possible. And when the funds still fell short, then at this point ARATI's supporters just took up the matter with the Chief Minister of West Bengal, Dr. Bidhan Chandra Roy, and the Prime Minister Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, and both of whom showed keen interest in ARATI's endeavor and helped arrange her trip. So the next one, when ARATI reached England, very few expected her to make a mark. So make a mark means have any remarkable impact. On the day of the competition, her pilot boat arrived late. The English Channel was the Mount Everest of swimming, and the odds hardly favored. Odds hardly favored means chances that were against. So odds hardly favored ARATI, who had begun swimming 40 minutes after the race began, and even as she braved the strong current, her pilot began to pressurize her to quit 5 miles away from the English coast, Arati finally gave in. Now, when she reached England, very few expected her to have a remarkable impact. But on the day of the competition, her pilot boat didn't arrive on time. So this English Channel was the Mount Everest of swimming, where she had to start the race 40 minutes later. And then the other participants, as the chances were against her. But then also she faced a strong current from the opposite direction, and 5 miles away from the English coast. Finally, she had to quit because of the pressure from her pilot. Next paragraph. The next time, however, she did not give up. Resolving to participate a second time, she trained again. Resolving means making mind up. On September 29, 1959, she battled rough waves and powerful currents to reach Sandgate in 16 hours and 20 minutes. It was the fastest speed clocked by any Indian woman of her time. Clocked means recorded. Okay, so after nearly escaping all the hurdles, she decided and trained to go for a second attempt. And on 29 September 1959, she made her second attempt and she swam for 16 hours and 20 minutes. And she battled tough waves to reach Sandgate, England. And it was the fastest speed recorded by any Indian woman of her time. Now the last paragraph is, in 1960 the government of India awarded Arati the Padma Shri to felicitate her determination, indomitable spirit and outstanding courage. She was the first Indian female sportsperson to be awarded India's fourth highest civilian award. Okay, so here felicitate means congratulate and indomitable spirit means courage. Okay, so she was awarded the Padma Shri in 1960 for her determination, courage and commendable achievement in sports. And so Arati was the first Indian female sportsperson to be awarded India's fourth highest civilian award. Okay, so here we came to know about Arati Shah's achievements as a long distance swimmer. So now question answers are going to be displayed. Okay children, for your homework, learn the word meanings as usual and write down the question and answers in your notebook. And also for your understanding, please read the chapter once again. That's okay. So thanks for listening. Again, all the best.